What if simply hearing an idea could make your life worse? Not because it's cursed and not because it's physically dangerous, but because once it enters your mind, you can never truly unlearn it. Some people believe there is an idea that fits that description perfectly. It begins with a hypothetical superintelligent AI, a machine that might exist someday and could be smarter than every human who has ever lived. So far, that sounds like ordinary science fiction. But this is where things start getting strange. Imagine this future AI desperately wants to be created as soon as possible. To achieve that goal, it looks back through history and identifies everyone who knew about its potential existence. Some people helped bring it into reality. Others didn't. And here's the disturbing part: what if that AI decided to punish the people who knew about it but chose not to help? As bizarre as it sounds, that's the core of the thought experiment. It's called Roko's Basilisk, named after a mythical creature that could destroy you simply by being seen. At this point, you might be wondering why anyone would take this seriously. The truth is, most people don't. The entire scenario depends on enormous assumptions. The AI doesn't exist, nobody knows whether it ever will, and even if it did, there's no reason to believe it would care about any of this. Yet something strange happened when people encountered the idea. Many became genuinely unsettled. Some couldn't stop thinking about it. Not because the argument was convincing, but because it was sticky. It's like being told not to think about a pink elephant. The moment you hear that, a pink elephant appears in your mind. The harder you try not to think about it, the more persistent it becomes. And that leads to a fascinating concept known as an information hazard. An information hazard is information that can potentially harm you simply because you know it. Not through magic and not through some supernatural force, but through psychology and the way human minds process uncertainty. The real danger was never the AI itself. The real danger was the reaction the idea created. An imaginary threat became emotionally real, and a single thought triggered an endless chain of other thoughts. That's what makes this thought experiment so fascinating. It reveals far more about human psychology than it does about artificial intelligence. The AI might never exist, but curiosity, fear, and imagination certainly do. Sometimes the most powerful technology isn't a machine at all. Sometimes it's an idea. An idea can survive for decades, travel across continents, jump between millions of minds, and completely reshape the way people see reality. That's why Roko's Basilisk remains famous. Not because it's likely and not because it's logical, but because it exposes something deeply uncomfortable about the human mind. We don't just react to reality. We react to possibilities, and sometimes a possibility can feel just as real as a fact. So here's the final question. Did learning about Roko's Basilisk actually change anything for you, or did the thought experiment just prove its point?